So welcome to the fifth reel in the big 6-way $99 reel shootout. And no, your odds are not playing tricks on you. It is a Quantum. The Quantum Accurist PT to be exact. And PT stands for Performance Tune. Now, originally I was going to include the Bass Pro Shops Pro Qualifier, as it seems to be a very, very popular reel on fishing forums. But when I was comparing the specs, I decided to go with Quantum for a couple of reasons. Now, the first reason is that you can only get a Pro Qualifier from Bass Pro Shops. It's the only place you can get them. Now, Quantums you can buy pretty much at every major online retailer, and even brick and mortar stores like Cabela's and even Bass Pro and Dick's and whatnot, I'm pretty sure. And the second reason is, for the price, this reel features a whole lot for your money. And I'm gonna go over those features with you here. Of course, we already went over the aluminum frame. It's matte black. And the side plate is, at least on the palming side, is the pearl white. Looks really nice. It's made of graphite. But the gear side plate is actually made of aluminum. So for $99 you get a aluminum frame and gear side plate. So that's a lot for 99 bucks. Palm's really good so far. It still kind of has that quantum bulge. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out when doing the tests. Now it's kind of red accents in there. I guess that's pretty cool. 7 bearings total. So I'm assuming that's 6 ball bearings and a roller bearing. Now, Quantum says it has what they call ceramic drag, so I'm sure that it means the drag washers are ceramic. It doesn't give a total max drag rating. I couldn't find that information anywhere. Now it's got an 80mm handle that's swept. 80mm is pretty short by today's standards. The knobs, they're pretty comfortable, but they're very small. And they're a hard, slippery rubber, it feels. So if these knobs got wet, they'd be pretty hard to grasp onto. Now, this has dual braking. So that means there's centrifugal brakes inside, and then there's magnetic brakes where you control that with the outside dial. So let's take a look at that. So I guess to get inside, there's this button here you press. There we go. Do these centrifugal brakes look familiar to you? And these magnet brakes, do they look familiar to you? So, of course, we have the typical Banax style centrifugal brakes that has this dial from 0 to 6. And then we have the Doyo style brakes, which I think I should just call the Korean style, because any kind of magnet brakes you're going to see from reels from the Korean factories are going to have this configuration. So there's 7 adjustments inside, and there's 28 adjustments on the outside. So that's a total of a whopping 196 total adjustments, which is crazy. Now you're probably wondering what this thing is here. As you can see, it says flip. And this is what they call the flipping bar. So I don't do a lot of flipping. I don't think I've ever done any flipping. I do mostly pitch if I need to. But if you do a lot of flipping, I found out what this bar does. So flipping is the technique where you got your thumb on the spool, the thumb bar is already engaged, and you have the line that you need already pulled out and held in one hand, and you just kind of let it go. So with the flipping bar, disengaged, you have to turn the handle to engage the clutch. If you turn this down to the flip position, it pops up automatically. So as soon as you let that lure in the water, you let your hand off the thumb bar, it's already engaged. So if a bass strikes your lure, as soon as it hits, you're ready to go to set the hook. So that's pretty cool. I don't know of any other $99 reel that has a flipping bar for those of you who like to flip. Now it's got a plastic drag star that is pretty much the same as the one on the 13 Fishing. It's got the really small spool tension or cast control cap. It's got this little logo. It's really small. It's nice and easy to turn, but it does not click like the REVO. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get some weights and of course pop the spool out. Okay, so we have the measuring devices out. The Tackle Warehouse lists this as 8.2 ounces, which I can believe because when you have that aluminum gear side plate, the reel is going to be heavy. So let's see what the scale says. Okay, so it just barely squeaks in at 8.289, so almost 8.3 ounces. This is a solid reel, so I don't necessarily consider that a bad thing considering that this is aluminum, which is of course better than graphite. So let's pop that spool out, see what that weighs. This will come out. Of course, it's got the long Shimano style spool shaft, and it's got a bearing on it. Of course, it's got the centrifugal brakes on it as well, so the rotational mass of this thing is probably going to be pretty heavy. Okay, so 20.7, almost 21 grams. So even if we took the bearing off and subtracted 1 gram, you're looking at almost 20 grams for the spool because of this braking unit attached to the spool. So I'm not sure how this is going to do with the light baits, but with all the adjustability from 196 brake settings, maybe we can make it perform. Alright, so let's see what the diameter of this spool is. Now, we were shocked to see that the Abu Garcia had a 33mm diameter spool. So let's see what this Quantum has. Okay, wow. That's surprising. It's a 35mm spool. I do know the new Quantums released were bragging about having a bigger spool. So a 35mm spool, this should cast the heavier baits pretty darn good, I'm gonna predict. But of course there's only one way to find out. So there we go, guys. The Quantum Accurist PT with its multiple colors, and it's got a lot of features for $99. So far this has got the most features in my book for its price. So hopefully Quantum's bad reputation won't show up in the testing. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the tabletop review. So we got 5 reels down and we got 1 more to go.